question for debate tonight is whether this government has taken on crony capitalism at a level the UPA government did not. The developments are absolutely sensational. The fact is the Delhi police under this government has swung into action and made arrests which could lead to lobbyists, which could lead to power brokers, which could even lead to some of the biggest industrial houses. So this is very, very serious. On the debate tonight, Sambit Patra of the BJP, Jainara Vyas of the BJP, two voices from the BJP tonight. Randeep Surjewala of the Congress and Atul Kumar Ranjan and Gaurav Bhatia of the Samajwadi Party. Congress, CPI and Samajwadi Party, that's the opposition charge, and Ajay Bose, senior journalist. Let's debate. Randeep Surjewala, would you agree with the Union Petroleum Minister that this government has cracked down and stopped corporates from stealing papers using power brokers and lobbies in a manner that your government failed to do so? And would you like to compliment the BJP for carrying out this arrest, taking on power brokers, something which you were unable to do? And in fact, why you didn't do that is something also you need to explain. Randeep Surjewala, let's debate. After that, it's open debate. Yes, please. Mr. Surjewala.
Arnav, I expected a far more mature statement from Mr. Dharmendra Pradhan. It's a clear-cut case of lapse in the oil ministry. A full disclosure of facts are required. Mr. Dharmendra Pradhan needs to tell not about the minions, a clerk and a PN who have been arrested, but who are the officers in whose custody these documents that have been found were. He should have come forward and said these are the two oil companies. He should have named them and said who were trying to steal documents.
What are you suggesting?
He should have told us as to what decisions were there.
What are you suggesting?
I am saying very clearly that it's a lapse. It's a clear-cut lapse under the very nose of the Petroleum Ministry. The complicity of the highest officials of Petroleum
So how can this be a lapse when how can I'm not getting where you're coming from, Mr. Surjewala. You see, how can it be a lapse? What the police says that we actually set up a trap. And it is because we set up a trap, we were monitoring people who were carrying out these activities and they were carrying out high-level corporate espionage. We set up a trap for them. We've been keeping a close watch on this kind of espionage happening in government circles. And he said that your government failed to do so. Why don't you answer my question instead of trying to push it on the other side? I mean, if you want to do it for the sake of debating, that's okay, Mr. Surjewala. But why don't you? You see, this sends a firm message from the government, top to bottom, that anyone who carries out these kind of leaks, passes on government papers and gives it to corporate houses will not be allowed to do so.
Absolutely, Arnab. See, three things. Firstly, it's absolutely correct what Delhi police has done. They've laid a trap and caught the people who were
Delhi
trying
police
to
works
steal
under the Home Ministry
documents and sell them. Secondly, absolutely it does. Secondly, the Petroleum Minister says this was happening all along. If this was happening all along, will he lodge an FIR? Will he say which are the papers that were leaked during the earlier government, and will he take action? He should have also said that. Number three, and just bear me out only for a moment. Why does the Petroleum Minister not state which are the papers which are stolen, which are the two oil companies involved, that he will take punitive action against them, and which are the officers in whose custody the papers were? And will he review all those decisions, since according to the police commissioner, just one more line, according to the police commissioner, this has been going on for some time. It's not as if it happened 15 days back.
We know.
The police commissioner has himself said that this has been going on right under the nose of the Petroleum Minister, and he is a 9-month-old Petroleum Minister for considerable amount of time. What was he doing all that time?
So instead of complimenting the government for its action,
the last Petroleum
instead of complimenting the government for its action against what appears to have been leakage and secrets taken out allegedly by a corporate house or at the behest of a corporate house, Randeep Surjewala actually blames the BJP for allowing this to go this far. The oil minister said you allowed it to go this far. A Modi government's actually cracking in. We'll take another point of view from Sambit Patra. After that, it's an open debate. Yes, Sambit.
Arnab, I have been listening to the sage advice of my able friend, Mr. Randeep Surjewala, and I would like to reply him by a muhavra of Hindi, chori upar se sina jori. I mean, that's what they have been doing all these years. Today, the black sheeps have been caught. My question to Mr. Randeep Surjewala is, why for all these years the black sheeps were allowed to graze within the premises of Shastri Bhawan? Why did not your government act against them? It is one of the worst kept secrets of the corridors of power that in fact things were leaked outside, that in fact documents of importance of the governments were tweaked. But in spite of knowing all these, you did not act. And that's what even the police commissioner, that's what everyone on the street also has been mentioning, and they know it. But in spite of it, you have not taken any action. And today, when a congratulatory note should be sent by every political party to this government in the center, that thankfully, the companies which were trying to spread their tentacles in the corridors of powers, their tentacles have been chopped. The backbone of crony capitalism.
Will you name the companies? Will you take on the companies? Will you name the companies? No. Will you name the companies? Will you take on the companies? Will you do that? Or are you only trying to catch the small fish?
The process of taking... No. Arnab, the process of taking on the companies has begun. What is this then? What is this then? That their agents have been nabbed today, that a trap was laid and they fell into the trap only means that a strong message
Atul
has
Kumar
been sent by this
Atul Kumar Anjan, Gaurav Bhatia, let's open the debate to everyone right now.
Listening.
This government says tonight, and the BJP representative says the process on taking on corporate houses has begun. Your response, Gaurav Bhatia. Go ahead, Gaurav Bhatia and then Atul Anjan. Yes.
Yeah, Arnab, first of all, the disturbing thing is that they say that the responsibility of these documents being leaked lies with lowly persons like a peon and a clerk. Why don't they also see that senior officials might have been involved, because such sensitive documents actually cannot be leaked without the connivance of the senior officials. And I think it has become a trend for the BJP to just point fingers at the Congress and not introspect why such things are happening in this government. And second, I think, why are they not naming the companies? Is it not possible that we see these corporate honchos having lunch and dinner with the Prime Minister and then they do such dubious acts? I think they should name and shame these companies who are actually eating our country like a termite.
Will you name and shame?
Third, it has been more than 15 months.
I'd like to get a response. I'd like to, one minute. One second. On that point.
Shamelessness of the
on that
opposition
point,
over
Gaurav,
here.
please hold it. On that point,
I'm really appalled by the shamelessness of the opposition. Here is a government who is which is taking on all the people who are involved in theft, on all the people who are trying to tweak government policies. And rather than congratulating the government, here we have Mr. Gaurav Bhatia, who is saying that immediately the government should come out with the names of the companies.
The problem
Did not the police
is
commissioner
that
say
BJP,
that when, yes,
the problem
even the names of the companies will come to the forefront, let the investigation be complete.
The BJP is seeking refuge in the inefficiency of the Congress. The BJP should rather act.
No, my question is, Mr. Gaurav Bhatia, you were also a coalition partner of the UPA. What were you all doing all these years? Why were you not laying down the trap? Why did you not have the CCTV cameras in the ministry? Why no comprehensive plan was laid down to catch hold of these people? You answer rather than questioning.
Why do you have to take example of the Congress? Why don't you start acting now?
Arnab, can I just come in and put things in a particular perspective?
Gentlemen, one minute. Just a minute, Gaurav, we know, Gaurav, first of all, gentlemen, can you say there's no crony capitalism in our country? There is. 1 second, just 1 second. Let's get the facts right.
We have a Lokpal as of today.
Let me please, sir, you are talking tonight as if crony capitalism.
Don't rush off to Mars now.
1 minute,
we are talking about crony capitalism.
Sambit, pull back for a minute.
Mars, saying what is happening to the
crony capitalism starts with the BJP when Adani is taken to Australia by the Prime Minister. That is the best example of crony capitalism. And after 10 months of
Gaurav
government, we don't have a
Bhatia, no
lokpal. We don't have
alibi
an
can
effective
excuse you
machinery to
today.
file-
You will
to
not have
fight
any
corruption.
excuse.
I'm sorry, gentlemen. Gentlemen, 1 minute. No, 1 minute. 1 minute. You, 1 minute. Let's not be.
Government starts fighting corruption.
Okay,
It is a serious
Gaurav.
issue.
Gaurav,
And stop
Gaurav,
pointing
if there
fingers
was
at
any
the past
proof
government.
needed, if there was any proof needed of crony capitalism during any government, it was evident shamelessly for everyone to see when a corporate lobbyist, a top journalist, and corporates and politicians openly discussing cabinet portfolios on behalf of certain corporates. We don't know about the Neera Nadia case. Don't we know what was going on at that point of time? We talk about whether corporate espionage is a new discovery. 1 second. My question goes, and let Atul Kumar Ranjan come of this. But for the viewers to remember, and for the Congress party to remember, more importantly, where a minister of the Congress party, 1 minute, Gaurav, let us have the backdrop to this very, very clearly put. A minister of the Congress government, in the words of the Supreme Court of India, favors companies at the cost of the exchequer, virtually giving away national assets in the name of allocating spectrum licenses. So you know, Mr. Atul Kumar Ranjan, we know there is corporate, crony capitalism. Tonight, Mr. Ranjan, forget your ideological differences with the BJP. You, Mr. Ranjan, have always said crony capitalism is the worst thing that happens to this country. If this government, and you don't like the BJP government, you have ideological issues with them, but if this government is taking on crony capitalism and is showing some intent of taking on the power brokers and the lobbyists, will you criticize them or will you support what they are doing?
Mr. Arnab,
Yes.
let me speak and I appeal to my other friends, please listen me. The Indian politics during the last 20 years has been vitiated and corruption has been, you see, put forth by this petroleum ministry, petroleum product suppliers, petroleum companies, private companies. And I tell you very frankly, a person who was moving on the streets like a pauper because of the connivance with the government and his role in the petroleum ministry becomes a big corporate house of this country. Everybody knows this story. That petroleum company owner floats the party, funds the party, organizes the party congresses. For that, he gets all sorts of support. And I tell you, you are not ready to accept the names. Who are the people? Who are the two private companies, petroleum companies? And these people, those who have been arrested, they are working for whom? Who were interested to get the decisions of the government? This was not going on just now in the BJP rule. It was going on earlier also.
That's the
and
point
I just
I'm
want
making.
to tell you,
No, but that's the point I'm making.
One is Reliance.
No, one
and
second.
another is SR company.
No, 1 second. First of all, you are drawing the link, not me. 1 second,
No,
Atul
I'm
Kumar
telling you,
Ranjan.
let's listen.
Atul Kumar Ranjan, 1 second.
Arnab,
Atul
you have
Kumar
the courage to
Ranjan.
listen.
Atul Kumar
Mr.
Ranjan.
Arnab,
No,
you have
1
the
second. I
courage
just
to-
want to put one caveat, then you
Mr. Arnab,
continue.
Have you courage to speak? Have you
Mr.
courage
Ranjan.
to see? Have you courage to listen me? Have you courage to listen me? On this your national television, which you say is the national voice, I am putting forth the fact before you, through you to the people of this country. And I just want to tell you, and this Gujarat, and these two companies are having biggest stake in Gujarat. And in Gujarat,
Now,
they were
Mr.
supporting.
Ranjan. Now, Mr. Ranjan.
last 15 years.
Now, Mr. Ranjan, Jainarayan Vyas will respond to you.
All sorts
1
of
second. 1 second. 1 second.
He
1
cannot-
second. 1 minute. Just a minute. Just a minute. Atul Kumar Ranjan. Atul Kumar Ranjan. 1
I have
second.
put forth the
Atul
fact.
Kumar
Let
Ranjan.
us- I don't want to use, no, just a minute. One line. I don't want to use big words. I will not make a small point into 100 words. I straight away with a small word say, the corruption by the private, this petroleum company has vitiated the atmosphere of politically, we have been made corrupt by these companies. And I tell you, all the secretaries of the petroleum ministry later on have contested on the ticket of the political parties. And today's Lieutenant Governor of Delhi is also the part of that one, and he has been promoted by these companies.
Okay. So, Mr. Panjan, I have not interrupted you, have I? First of all, Mr. Ranjan, as far as your statement about courage is
I am not
concerned,
speaking.
thank you very much. As far as your statement on courage is concerned, given what we have done as a channel, what we do as journalists, let's not make tall claims or lay the finger anywhere. Viewers know, you know. There is no absence of courage in the journalism that we do. One second. Second point is which I add as a caveat. I need to put this caveat out with a sense of responsibility. You mentioned the names of two companies. You are drawing the link. You are drawing the link. I'm not taking responsibility for what you're saying. In fact, I cannot draw a direct link. You're a politician. As a journalist, I can't draw direct. I'll tell you, Mr. Anjan, please. Mr. Anjan, I listen to you now. Now, Mr. Anjan, when I listen to you, it is only fair that you should listen to me when I listen to you completely uninterrupted. What I'm saying is that as a journalist, unless I can, if there is an inference that you are drawing, you can draw it. But for me, that will be guesswork unless there is a concrete link between this side and the other side. And I always need proof to validate what I'm saying, right? So that is not an inference that I can draw, and this channel can't take responsibility for the inference that you are drawing. 1 minute, just a minute.
Talking about proof, sometimes, incidents also speak louder than proof. And if you remember, in the last government, petroleum ministers were shunted out. Why were they shunted out? Is the corporate lobby so strong that if
you were part of the government then, why were you not questioning the government then, Mr. Gaurav Bhatia? You could have drawn out of the coalition of UPA if you well knew that there was corruption going on in the petroleum minister, which was going on. Why were you quiet for all the while? Why was the Samajwadi Party not going out of the UPA coalition?
If you can't hear, it is not my problem. Sambit, please don't interrupt. I'm making a point. I'm asking the UPA government, which was in power, why was it changing the UPA, the petroleum?
Let the UPA question. Why were you not asking the UPA
but in that case,
part of the government?
If you can't hear, what can I do?
No, but in that case, it should also be said that is it the first time tonight? Is it some Christopher Columbus has come and found something for the first time? Did we not know? Randeep Surjewala, did we not know Ajay Bose? No, 1 minute, 1 minute, please. I've heard everyone. I'm putting the facts on the table. And if I'm having this debate tonight, Mr. Ranjan, and everybody knows I'm having an open debate on this subject. Because as I began the Newshour tonight by saying, I don't believe that issues should be swept under the carpet. Right? So my question is, Ajay Bose, you know that papers were being leaked earlier also. Veerappa Moily was the petroleum minister who replaced Jayapal Reddy.
Absolutely.
Everybody said, why is Jayapal Reddy getting replaced? 1 second. He was replaced. The story was never out. He was replaced in a very summary manner. Veerappa Moily, Ajay Bose came and said papers are being leaked. In fact, I'll pull out the quotes right now. But did the Congress government do anything about it, Ajay Bose? Papers were being leaked. Veerappa Moily had gone on record saying papers were being leaked. Did the Congress government do anything about it? No.
No, they did nothing.
They did absolutely
if something is being done now, firstly, I have no hesitation in congratulating the government. But with a very big caveat or no, if this is going to stop here, if there is no full disclosure of what exactly is the racket.
What is the full disclosure you want?
If it's going to just be reduced to just this little thing, that we need a full disclosure, we must get to the bottom and actually destroy this virus, which is killing any kind of policy making. And although let us finally, please let us not mix up crony capitalism with corporate espionage. Crony capitalism is when they don't have to do spying.
No.
When they are given something of their own by a powerful leader.
No.
Corporate espionage is when their agents come in and spy and
No, 1 minute.
Ajay, confuse the two.
Ajay Bose, you are a very senior journalist. I slightly disagree with you because I remember, Ajay Bose, what the Supreme Court said while ordering the CBI probe into the Neera Radia case not so long back in October 2013. It said, and I quote for you, the conversations between Ms. Neera Radia and her associates with various persons suggest that unscrupulous elements have used corrupt means to secure favors from government officers who appear to have acted on extraneous considerations. In other words, it simply said bribe, bribe, bribe. So it said bribe. Now, whether you bribe within government, outside government, the fact is that there is a government officer out there, and I am not among those people who believe that a government officer can be corrupt.
No, absolutely.
Tomorrow, can a top government officer be corrupt without having some feeling that the government, the minister is on his side? And let Randeep Surjewala answer tonight. What did he do? As in, what did the Congress party do?
From top to bottom.
Let him reply tonight.
No. There's a whole chain.
Because he started on a very
chain which is top to bottom.
Because I have read, I think Mr. Surjewala is a very accomplished spokesperson. But Mr. Surjewala is a very accomplished spokesperson when he wants to be. When Mr. Surjewala wants to be, he answers the question. But he avoided my first question. I am asking him for the second time tonight, and Mr. Surjewala, everybody is watching. What did you do? You are accusing the BJP today, but what did you do? Wait, no, 1 minute. 1 minute. For example, I have one example for you. Sorry, sir. Let me give you one example. When your Union Environment Minister allegedly, from your own admission, as Anand Sharma has said, took sensitive central government files out of Delhi and allegedly took them to Chennai to get them cleared, what did you do? Right? When your ex-union minister accused your Vice President Rahul Gandhi of relaying emails to her office for policy decisions as requests, which were termed as directives that allegedly slowed down clearances in the Environment Ministry, what did you do? When coal blocks were allocated arbitrarily on corporate considerations, what did you do? When the Neera Radia tapes mentioned several top industrial houses in league with journalists and politicians, Mr. Surjewala, what did you do? And I don't want to get into other issues. But please answer tonight.
Arnab, you leveled 5 allegations.
No, examples, sir, not allegations. Not one allegation.
You patiently. Let me answer them. I hope you will have the patience.
Sure.
I hope you will have the patience to
yes,
hear
sir,
the
I
answers. Firstly, this is a clear-cut case where Mr. Pradhan's ministry has been caught with their pants down, if I may use that phraseology. People have been caught stealing papers by Delhi police. Delhi police commissioner says it has been going on for some time. Mr. Pradhan refuses to disclose the name of officers in whose custody the papers were. Mr. Pradhan refuses to disclose the name of the companies who were stealing papers. Mr. Pradhan refuses to say that he will review the decisions that were allegedly taken where the decisions may have been affected on account of the theft. And he says, oh, give me a pat on my back because 9 months after I took over the ministry, Delhi police has caught a clerk and a peon stealing papers, but I will not disclose name of officers, I will not disclose name of companies. What is this? Number 2, he says it was being done in UPA. Who was doing it in UPA? Will he proceed to lodge an FIR? What papers were leaked? Please go ahead. Number 3, you mentioned about the Vice President of the Congress giving a directive to the then Environment Minister. The Vice President has gone on record and we have gone on record officially. Vice President always intervened to protect the environment and we shall continue to do so even in opposition over and over again. The Vice President never intervened, unlike Mr. Modi and company, on behalf of any corporate house. Nor did the Vice President of the Congress party influence decision making.
Anyway, this is not about Rahul Gandhi.
And number 4,
this is not about Rahul Gandhi.
Also remember that.
No, this is not about Rahul Gandhi.
Have I lost audio?
No, you have not lost audio.
Forget the fact that even Pulak Chatterjee carried files to Sonia Gandhi. And Sonia Gandhi, who was not supposed to see any of the government files, probably must have tweaked into the government files. I believe that was the biggest charge and Mr. Surjewala should answer this. Secondly, Mr. Surjewala
Gaurav Bhatia is responding.
Why Mr. Dharmendra Pradhan deserves a pat on the back? I would say, who installed the CCTV cameras? Who started the surveillance procedure? It was this government which said that na khaunga, na khane dunga was the one which has started this surveillance procedure. And because of that this whole procedure of catching up with thieves have started, which you did not do for all these years. So Mr. Surjewala, you are an accomplished spokesperson. I respect you. But I tell you, your party is something which is not to be respected.
Gaurav Bhatia is responding. Jainara and Vyas will come in after that. Gaurav.
Arnab, first of all, if this is happening in Petroleum Ministry, the question is it not happening in other ministries like power, like defense, like transport? And as a policy decision, what has the BJP government done to weed out corruption? Secondly, we all know that in Gujarat, when Narendra Modi ji was the chief minister there was no Lok Ayukt over there for 8 years. Now we don't have a Lokpal for the last 10 months. Why should a Lokpal not be there? Why should CBI not be under the control of Lokpal? This BJP government would not allow that because they use CBI to manipulate, and that is why we have seen that in spite of the
I'll tell you what the BJP has been doing.
Lokpal has been
Look
appointed.
into the coal auction, Mr. Gaurav Bhatia. Look into the coal auction.
Most importantly,
7 lakh crores to 15 lakh crores.
Let's
the
have a
CAG
civilized
was talking
debate.
of a loss of 1,86,000 crores. This government, Mr. Gaurav Bhatia, has earned 7 lakh crores to 15 lakh crores for the country. This is what the government is doing. Please go to the coal auction process. This is the comprehensive thing that the government is doing.
And stop interrupting me like an illiterate person.
Sir, don't get personal.
Like an illiterate person.
Don't get personal.
No.
I'm not
you were all
personal,
illiterate for all these years as far as country's policy was concerned. You knew everything, yet you allowed corruption to flourish. And today it's our right to see
Okay, so the challenge is, one second, that there is a challenge on the Newshour tonight, and the challenge is big fish or small fish. Jainara and Vyas is smiling. I think I'll bring him into the debate since he's being too polite tonight, won't come on his own. Now, what are we talking about? A lot of people, while this debate is going on, are asking me just one question. The messages, tweets, everything coming around is, can anyone believe that this is some information that only a peon is responsible for in the government? If you want to know, sir, there are two sides of the story, Jainara and Vyas. We want to know two sides of the story. No, 1 second. First, we want to know, we want full disclosure. We want the name of the corporates. 1 corporate or 2 corporate or 3 corporates. If you're not scared of any corporate, then I think it is important for the government, Jainara and Vyas, to declare who is the corporate / corporates who are trying to do this. Sir, would you do that? First question. Second question, ministry papers are not lying around unattended for anyone to pick up. I mean, this government, if it expects us to believe that some cleaning staff could get their hands on, if clerks and peons in the ministry have access to such information, then we are living in another world. It cannot be in the hands of a Group D employee. People are asking today, who are the real big fish inside the government who are part of the plot? You understand what I'm saying, Mr. Vyas?
That the Group D employee supposedly had a duplicate key to that locker which had sensitive material.
That's what they are saying, that some cleaning staff...
This is the kind of safety we
that's
have
what the government is saying. The government is saying some cleaning staff, multitasking employee, some peons and some clerks got their hands onto the papers. Yes, Jainara and Vyas.
Arnab,
Why we are in the
I will answer your second question first, which is comparatively easier.
Wasting time whether
I do agree, and nobody in the right sense of mind would believe that this is a job of a peon or a clerk. There must be a ring, there must be a number of people right up to the almost top who must have been involved in this. And I'm sure the investigations will bring it out. Let the investigations, police...
No, so you admit. So you are admitting.
Expose everyone.
No, 1 second. Ajay Bose.
The government must expose everyone.
No,
The government cannot hold back.
Why can't the names of the companies?
You have to expose everyone.
No, then you expose
What the
everyone.
media
One
wants
second.
is full disclosure.
One minute.
What the people of this country want full disclosure.
No, okay, so
I never
we want to know the full
never
truth.
spoke a word when others were making a point.
okay, let him
Then
complete.
we'll congratulate you.
I never spoke
We
a
will
word when
congratulate
others
this
were-
government.
Sir, all that panelists are saying is,
think-
sir,
we
1
will
minute.
congratulate you. Do
Jainara and Vyas, you can't have partial disclosure. Here you are saying that very, very sensitive papers which affect India's national interests are being stolen from the Union Petroleum Ministry through conduits, brokers, etc., and being given to some top companies. Right? What all that we are asking for, Mr. Vyas, is please give us the names of the companies officially. Let there not be this, this suggestive. Otherwise, no, one second.
agree.
No, you can't reveal this much and then say, oh, but we can't tell you which are the companies involved. Will you tell us which are the companies involved? Will you tell us who are the people
I am
either
sure
in your
about-
political or your bureaucratic establishment? If there are any,
I am
who are on the payrolls of these
I am
companies.
sure enough, if you have little more patience for another breaking news debate, you will come to know. I don't think that this government is interested anyway.
So you are
in
promising full
keeping the things
disclosure.
on the
Okay.
carpet.
Okay.
But right now, when
Randeep
just
Surjewala,
the things have been
Gaurav
exposed,
Bhatia.
when the raids are on, when the investigations are going on, why you want half-baked details?
No, I'm
Wait
not-
for some time. You will get the full
Vyas.
details. I don't think anybody is
Vyas.
interested in sweeping the
Mr.
matters
Jainara
under
and
the
Vyas.
carpet. This cannot
Mr.
be done.
Jainara and Vyas.
Okay, three hands go, one at a time, one at a time.
Mr. Jainara and Vyas.
Mr.
No.
Atul Kumar Anjan, yes, Atul Kumar Anjan, Atul Kumar Anjan.
Mr. Jainara, my simple,
Arnab,
Mr. Jainara and Vyas.
let me
Mr.
tell
Jainara and
my
Vyas.
friend.
Listen 1 minute, Arnab. Mr. Jainara and Vyas. No, Mr. Jainara and Vyas, my simple question. You should not go into the long, discussion and pravachans and sentences. I have referred two names. These two names belong to Gujarat. Their big refineries are in Gujarat.
Again,
Do
you
you
are-
agree with me?
No, I compliment
You are
your general
CBI.
knowledge. I fully compliment your general knowledge that at least you know that two of the country's biggest refineries are located in Gujarat. I am very happy. And I fully compliment your general knowledge.
Okay, Gaurav Bhatia.
You are having very good relation with them. No. Are they involved in this? Are they
I have
involved
very
in
good
this or
relations
not?
with you also.
These people, those who have working,
This
they
I
were work-
I
No,
I
you
don't
are
think
having
you will be
very
able
good
to plant
relation.
words
Thank
in
you,
my
my dear.
mouth.
I wish to only say this,
You
that
will
Mr.
not
Vyas
succeed
is a
in
very
doing this.
learned man, and he would agree that such secret documents
No,
cannot
no.
come out unless there is connivance of senior officials. So what is the government doing to find out whether there was connivance of the senior officers?
Or not?
Second,
Sambit
why
Patra-
are the
Sambit
companies
Patra
not
responding
being
to that.
named?
Sambit
Because
Patra.
naming the
My
companies
simple
would
Sambit,
not
point,
jeopardize
I may be
the
wrong.
reputation in
No,
any way, and that
Gaurav,
would inspire
listen,
confidence.
Gaurav,
Thirdly,
Gaurav,
I
listen.
am told
Let us
that
not,
these
let us,
Arnab,
let us
Gentlemen,
not-
one at a time. No. One second. One second. First, no, 1 minute. Please stop. Everyone, please stop. My question now is, 1 second.
Is it
I don't know why.
One second.
Why
No,
you are
let me
making it a
answer this,
BJP
Arnab.
versus
in a
BJP
place
versus Samajwadi
where
Party.
these
Let
are
us not
used in a
make it.
cricket
I
match
just
as
want
a-
Arnab,
Are
very
these
simple.
people who want an
Okay.
immediate disclosure
Arnab, Sambit Patra and Atul
are
Kumar
they
Anjan.
trying to hamper the investigation? Are they not
questions are
trying
very
to hamper the
serious
investigation? This is my question. Are these
no,
people
we
trying
do
to
not
protect
want to
those
hamper.
people
No,
whom they
no,
protected
no,
all
no,
these
no.
while? This is my question to
Whose
Gaurav
interest they will serve
Bhatia and
getting the
Randeep
names disclosed
Surjewala.
at this stage?
All
Why
these
do you
years you
announce it
protected
at
people,
such an early
and
stage?
today also
I
you
just
want
come
the
in and say something?
investigations
I
not
want
to
to ask this
complete the
question. Why
case.
do you announce
This
it?
only points fingers to direction
Anyway, you-
that
you-
you want
we
to
were
protect these
protecting,
people. You do
and
not
you
want
were having a very
investigations
good
to be
relation with
completed.
them.
You do not want to have
no, you
patience
were
when raids
protecting
are
them.
going on,
You
when
were
the police
protecting
commissioner
them.
himself has
You
come
were
to the
having a very good
forefront.
relation
He has
with
held a
them.
press conference and he has said that the highest of name will be divulged to the people. Then what makes you think that immediately today, before midnight, the government should come up with the names? Is it not that you are trying to stall the investigation? Is it not?
No, we don't want to.
No, but will you divulge the names? Sorry.
Help the guilty.
that
Sorry.
must be known.
No, just
in this country, only 2 private refinery companies are there.
Mr.
Those
you have
who
made
were
your point.
stealing the facts.
You made
those
your
who
point.
Are trying to know the government.
You have made your point.
Made not point. What you are discussing? If I have making the point, what discussion
Mr.
is going
Ranjan,
on?
all I'm saying is
why the long sentences? For what?
who has investigated
I just want
the case.
No.
Mr. Ranjan, I'm just trying to get someone else into the debate also.
Yes, I have not
CPI or
investigated,
CBI?
but at the same time, your Prime Minister's relation with these companies are well known.
Sambit Patra, the question is very simple and I think it's being put to you repeatedly. Let's just have these 2 gentlemen please on the screen, like Sambit Patra and Randeep Surjewala. The question is very simple. People are saying today, good, you took them on, you laid a trap, you've caught 5 people, you've also caught 1 official, detained 1 official of a big company called Reliance. Now, the question being asked you repeatedly, and Randeep Surjewala can come in, is, you see, you can't just do some arrests and then claim credit for taking on corporate espionage if you don't take it to its ultimate conclusion, Sambit Patra. And the ultimate conclusion cannot be limited to some lower level cleaning staff who were caught red-handed and some anonymous company some companies will go into litigation, etc., etc. Nowadays it's become fashion for any company or individual, get an injunction, try and get the journalists or media not to report on the story, etc. So it will go into a loop. This is basically what people are saying. If this can't be internal battle, right, Randeep Surjewala? It can't be internal battle between the governments and individual companies. If it's going to be an open battle, let's have the open battle. No, mention the companies, take the names, draw the links. Mention the companies, take the names, draw the links.
That the government has alighted the first step.
Okay,
that the government has alighted the first step means that the government has the intention.
All right. Randeep Surjewala has a
question. Also make a point so that Sambit can answer all these together. A strong message
has been sent across the country today, and that's the reason as to why we are even debating this topic.
Well, I don't believe for one, Sambit, if you want me to be open about it, I don't believe that only...
Sambit has had his say.
Yes, go ahead, Randeep.
Let me just put things...
No, Randeep, please. Randeep, only Randeep. I won't have 2 people speaking together. Please, Randeep.
Yeah, I just want to take what you said forward. The issue is very simple. 2 minions, 1 clerk and a peon and some conduits have been arrested by the Delhi police for stealing secrets of the Petroleum Ministry. Now my friend Mr. Patra, as also Mr. Vyas says, police is investigating, very fair, police must investigate. But they were stealing these documents admittedly on behalf of 2 oil companies. So 2 oil companies are as much accused, in fact are the principal accused other than those people who were physically caught cheating. What is the difficulty if government was to name them as an accused and the Petroleum Minister was to come out and say these are the 2 oil companies who were actually stealing documents because they are the ones who are actual thieves.
Yes, I want to
Number
answer.
2, just one more point.
Arnav, I believe even the common sense would give an answer to this question.
Can answer then.
And the common sense says that because the Petroleum Ministry
I'll come back.
Will not like to hear. Samit, I heard you very patiently.
That's the reason as to why
Samit, I heard you very patiently.
Samit, you see, Mr. Patra, once again for the Newshour viewer, I'm making a request. We are on a very serious subject. I cannot tell you, Mr. Patra, how many people from where all in the country are today contacting the Times Now newsroom. Specifically tonight, people are feeling a lot of concern and angst. And that comes out of one statement of Dharmendra Pradhan, that there are people who are trying to impede and interfere in the fair functioning of an elected government. What Pradhan has said is a very serious charge, which means somebody in the government has a feeling that the functioning of the Narendra Modi government, the fair and free functioning of the Narendra Modi government is being challenged by some people, including some private companies. That is the fair allegation which is being made. It is in this backdrop, Mr. Patra, which is why you must listen. No, Mr. Patra, Mr. Patra, it is in this backdrop.
This statement was made by Veerappa Moily.
Mr. Patra, let me complete, please. I have asked the question on Veerappa Moily. That's not a... No, Mr. Patra, let me complete. My point is...
But at least this government has started acting. I think
Mr. Patra, congratulations for that, but that's not the issue. Mr. Patra, congratulations for acting, but that's not the issue. I began by saying, great job. Even the opposition is congratulating you tonight. Good. You took the first step. What Mr. Surjewala is saying, how far between now and the next step? And there is a lot of pressure that's building up. Name the companies. Now, I request you to let Mr. Surjewala complete. I will give you a turn to respond. Corporate espionage is the hashtag. If you're concerned about what's going on in Lutyens, Delhi, trending nationally #1, you can tweet as well. Mr. Surjewala, your turn now in the debate. Gaurav, I heard you. I know you want to come back. I'm going to come back to you. Mr. Surjewala. Ajay Bose, after that, please. Yes.
Thank you, Arnab. Arnab, there were three very simple points I'm making. Firstly, which I had already said. 2 oil companies were stealing documents of Petroleum Ministry, and a clerk, PN and some agents have been caught. Why? Those 2 oil companies are the principal thieves. Why not name them, lodge an FIR and then investigate? That is the basic law of this country. Number 2, these documents would definitely be, as you had pointed out, in the custody of very senior high-ranking officials within the ministry, from whose custody these documents were taken and were being photocopied by a clerk and peon.
It's a relevant question.
Why should they not be accused and named in this case?
Yeah, relevant question.
Number 3, and a very simple thing that I want to add to this. Some decisions must have been affected by this theft of documents. Obviously, these oil companies are trying to affect a decision of the government. What is that decision, and will the minister review such a decision and look it afresh? And just one more line, Arnab, with your permission. This has been going on, according to the police commissioner, for considerable amount of time in the oil ministry. For how long has it been going on? How many documents have been photocopied? Who all are responsible, and will the minister look at all these decisions which have been subject matter of theft afresh? These are the basic questions that people of this country would like to know through your channel today.
I think all the questions asked here are very relevant, and we need to look at it in a very clear context. Don't just try to make it political. From whose custody were they stolen? Very relevant, Sambit. Okay. Secondly, what decisions were affected?
I want to answer.
Thirdly, most importantly, will the Narendra Modi government take on all cases or only one company's case? Is it, if tomorrow a case emerges that there are other companies trying to take or influence decisions in other ministries, are you absolutely sure that none of the other ministries of the government where economic decisions are taken, and other ministries as well, that there is no lobbying, influence, stealing going on? Because my first concern is, Ajay Bose, that if this is happening in the Petroleum Ministry, surely there are corporates with financial interests in other ministries as well. So I am interested in knowing whether you will extend it to all other ministries and all other corporates as well. Ajay Bose. Yes, Ajay Bose.
All these years, this has been an open secret in journalist circles. We have written about it, that a huge amount of corporate infiltration, corporate lobbying, corporate espionage, which has been going on. This everybody knows. I mean, we all know this. If this government is indeed serious in stopping it, I will be the first one to congratulate it. I think it would be a pioneering step. But to do that seriously, we need full disclosure. We need serious steps. We need sustained steps. And we need everybody, every company. You very correctly say that, is it directed against one company, or is it directed against all companies who are trying to do...
Because it is also true. Because Indian history is also true that very often government take on corporates when the relationship sours. It can't be vis-a-vis one company only. Tomorrow the relationship will get better. Will this stop? You see, you have to look at it in a macro perspective. Several questions being put to you, Sambit Patra. So you are on a little bit on the back foot now, as I can see. Gaurav Bhatia firing another question at you, and then you'll get your chance to reply.
Gaurav Bhatia. This government has created history of sorts. Let me enlighten.
Gaurav Bhatia now to you. Listen to Gaurav Bhatia now.
The point that everyone wishes to...
No, Arnab, let me
Gaurav Bhatia after that.
If the intention of this government was otherwise,
Gaurav Bhatia,
why did the government lay down the trap into which all these people fell down? The intention of the government,
please allow Gaurav Bhatia.
The intention of this government is to see to it that the people who have earned are exposed. And let me tell you, the biggest erring agency is the previous UPA
I don't doubt the intention of the government. I am asking you openly. I am asking you openly how far you will take this. Will you extend it?
For a complete exposure. Complete exposure.
Now, Arnab.
Yeah, Gaurav.
Can I make my point?
Gaurav is asking a question. Sambit, listen to him. Gaurav, Sambit, please stop. Gaurav is asking a question. Gaurav, please.
The journey.
Yeah. Arnab, Sambit is treating us like an adversary, and the point that every panelist is trying to make, that if these sensitive documents can come out, then why should it not be assumed that there are many other sensitive documents that are being obtained by big corporate honchos? And the real question that the government needs to answer is that have they learnt a lesson from this leak? What is the policy that is in place to ensure that these sensitive documents don't reach the hands of corporate companies who will benefit from the leak? And second, please, Sambit, understand that if you would try to control
the government has caught hold of a thief.
Agencies like the CBI, the CVC, has not been appointed, then who would weed out corruption? Again, Sambit, please allow me to make my point. At least.
No, Gaurav Bhatia.
Okay, so one of you has to take a back seat. Sambit, please. Sambit, you can respond after Gaurav completes.
Try to listen to others.
Sambit, you can respond after Gaurav completes. I will let you respond after Gaurav completes. If you respond while he is speaking, you can't be heard either. Gaurav, go ahead.
Have a lot of substance in it. These points disturb you because they have substance. We are only saying that what is the policy that is in place to ensure that sensitive documents don't reach companies. Please understand that. And don't try to just jump in every time I'm trying to make a point. Why don't you name the two companies? Why don't you also investigate the role of senior officers? Do you think a peon and a clerk is responsible for this? You're turning a blind eye to reality.
Committing theft.
The only premise behind which the opposition is hiding is name the companies right now. Or not, in all my senses, and I ask my question to the esteemed panelists over here today, is it possible that the moment the thieves are caught, the names should be declared? Should not the investigation take its course? Should not the law of this land allow to perform? Should not have some patience?
Mr. Sambit Patra, now hear me, Mr. Patra. All you've been saying tonight, Mr. Patra, you know, there was a Guns N' Roses song called Patience. I will send you the lyrics because you can hum it all night tonight if you want. You just say patience, patience, patience. That's all you keep repeating. My question is that...
Not at all.
No, 1 second, relax. Mr. Patra, I have the patience. I have the patience, but I am looking at timing. I am looking at timing, Mr. Patra. Now you don't listen to me.
Because of which government is this espionage event came to the forefront?
Mr. Patra, relax.
It is because of this government that we are having all this debate.
Mr. Patra, thank you. Thank you for giving yourself a certificate. And I would also tell you, yes, it appears to me that the BJP government, from its own official records, has been working non-stop from day one to keep a watch on potential espionage. For example, in the Petroleum and Natural Gas Ministry, what happens? Billions of dollars of rupees worth of deals, orders, contracts are closed, right? There's a lot of money. It's the most cash-rich ministry in the country, right? So, lot of hanky-panky goes on there. Not everything is above board. There are lobbyists. It's an open season. I'm sorry to say it, but there are dalals doing the rounds of all these ministries. We know this happens in Lutyens, Delhi, and I know that your government says we've been working on it. Now, Mr. Patra, my simple question to you is on the 22nd of August 2014, your government embarked upon what was quoted to be a never-before move of installing CCTVs in major central ministries, right? You floated tenders for cameras. Each camera has 32 channels. You took the quotations. In fact, your government is so careful that it was reported that after cabinet meetings, notes are taken on Kindle devices which are handed over at the end of the meeting. So you have been taking all these steps to ensure secrecy, right, Mr. Patra? So congratulations for that. My only concern is, if you took all these steps, and all of which are ensured and going that secrets don't go out, then how on earth, Mr. Patra, do some clerks and multitasking staff get away with papers which can determine the future of billions of dollars of decisions in your government? These CCTV cameras have been around for the longest time. How come only today you realize?
My simple answer
is there something more?
Why don't you see this as a trap?
Let Mr. Patra respond.
Why not a trap? They fell into the trap because of the CCTV camera, because of the surveillance that was loaded by the government.
No, Randeep, let me hear Sambit's reply. No, gentlemen, let me hear Sambit's reply to my question.
Which the previous government could have easily done by installing the surveillance procedure, but the previous governments chose to be quiet. This government chose not to be quiet.
Okay, so tell me, Mr. Patra,
Mr. Patra, the surveillance procedure mooted, and that's the
No, Ajay, Mr. Patra, please stop. Mr. Patra, 1 minute. Mr. Patra, just stop. Don't go on non-stop. I'm very intrigued.
No, all you could catch. No, tell me something. After such an elaborate trap, all you could catch is a clerk and a peon. I mean, I'm just surprised. I mean, if you...
Is the procedure over? Is the investigation over?
Preparedness.
Are the raids over?
And you were laying this very elaborate trap. Now you say...
If they're not over, then why are we fighting over here?
Clerk and a peon.
Why can't we wait for the raids to be over? Why can't we wait for the Delhi Police Commissioner to submit his report? Why are we fighting over things on the procedure that is going on still?
No, but at least you should have a credible... You should have a credible case.
Place in other ministries. Is there anything in place in other ministries to ensure that sensitive documents are kept in safe custody and they're not leaked out? And the fight against corruption of the BJP
before I say Arnab answered
and the PN and the clerk, that is what Mr. Sambit is trying to tell us.
CCTV cameras are being installed everywhere.
The fight against corruption
but
and that the PN and
procedure is being mooted.
No, the CCTV camera just started working. What were they doing for the last 8 months?
Exactly. The CCTV cameras were getting hold of the people who were doing wrong things, and today the first ones have been caught.
Okay, Randeep Surjewala, please, on a counter. 2 minutes on the debate. Randeep Surjewala.
That you are not doing anything.
Randeep Surjewala.
Only if Mr. Patra will let somebody be heard. I think what Mr. Patra forgot to tell, that the tender for CCTV cameras in the Petroleum Ministry floated in July-August 2014 was either permitted to go or did not fructify, and that's why no CCTV cameras were put by Mr. Pradhan in the Oil Ministry. So he's wrong when he's saying that CCTV cameras are functioning. No CCTV cameras were installed in the Petroleum Ministry. He should recheck the facts from Shastri Bhawan. And why?
Mr. Pradhan himself has given a statement saying that CCTV cameras have been installed in his ministry. I believe he should go through the statement.
Well, I don't know, sir. From my information, the government has a technology arm. The technology arm is called the National Informatics Center, or the NIC. It was instructed to strictly and quickly implement everything. In fact, even on cabinet meetings, ministers taking their notes on Kindle and returning the Kindles after that to ensure that, cabinet notes are not leaked. All these kind of watertight procedures are made. I'm not making any accusation. All I'm saying, it's very interesting that this is the first time and the only case in which information is found out. I have a sneaking suspicion that if the oil ministry is penetrated like that, despite all your security systems, God knows what's going on in the other ministries. Maybe it's better for you to be careful. Having said that, Mr. Surjewala and Gaurav Bhatia, I think you will admit today.
That question has not been answered by Sambit Patra.
No, I think you will admit today that this is at least some crackdown on crony capitalism.
Look at them
early
who
in the
are asking
tenure.
questions. The ones who allowed the thieves to have a free run all these years are the ones shouting at me today. You
That's
are the
true.
ones who are shouting at me.
No,
All these years you allowed the thieves to have free run in your industries. You allowed espionages after espionages to happen. And today you dare to question me.
He is not in a mood to hear today.
Just because you are pointing fingers at others.
What answers? We have caught the thief. You want to play question answer again?
name the
We have already gone a step ahead.
If you've
We have
caught the
hold of
thief,
the ones who are doing all this.
Sorry.
We are inching towards the main
short
culprit.
issue
But
is-
what were you, Mr. Gaurav Bhatia?
Two
We
oil
want you to
companies
catch the
have been
dacoit.
caught stealing
years.
documents.
We want you to catch the dacoit.
Just one line.
And the mafia boss.
Two oil companies. Mr. Patra, just one line. Two oil companies have been caught stealing documents. Why are they not named in FIR as...
That's a good point.
as
Why are they not
accused in-
named?
Under the Official
Absolutely.
Secrets Act?
Why are they not named?
They should have
Why
been
only
named in
clerks
the
and
FIR
PMs?
in the column
Who
which
said they
says
will not be
accused.
named? No,
But-
why do you derive that they would not
Because
be
so
named?
far they have not been named,
Congress
Mr.
why not
Patra.
these two
Why only a
companies? Why the
clerk and
Congress was
PM?
quiet all these while?
No, so far they have
Congress
not
did
been
not
named.
do anything all these years. This government has taken the first step ahead with the intention that we will
Why-
reach the
why
ultimate
are
culprit.
you not
Is there
today
any
naming the
doubt in this?
people who
If
are
the government
caught
had
stealing
intentions
documents?
otherwise, why the government
Why
could
are
have
you
laid the
only
trap? This
naming
is a simple
clerks and
question. Any
PMs
man
so
with
as to
common sense
arrive
can
at a
see through it.
compromise
Why can't my
with
worthy
these oil
opponent see through
companies
it?
at a later stage as a classic case of crony capitalism and protection to these companies
What?
on behalf of the government?
No,
That
sorry,
seems to be the only
Mr. Surjewala.
plausible reason
Mr.
for not
Surjewala, you are
naming
making
these-
one second.
companies.
I'm extending the debate by 5 minutes. At this stage of the debate, Mr. Surjewala makes a fairly serious and damning allegation against the government. He says that the government is deliberately not named the companies so that it can apply some pressure and later go into some kind of a private compromise with the same companies, leaving aside the gravity of the allegations no, 1 second. This is a serious allegation.
What puerile
Breaking
allegations?
news by Financial Express.
Yes.
Arnab, a breaking news by Financial Express has been
If they had
discussed
to apply
that the
pressure, they
company
would
has
have
been
otherwise
named.
done without
And let
laying
me
a
say
trap
that
also.
the company
Why
is
did they
very
lay a trap and
influential.
catch hold
And
of
probably
people?
it
And
is
why
more
they would like
powerful
to
than the
blackmail
government.
someone on this trap?
And they are
They could have
operating
otherwise
under the
also laid
influence
pressure
of
if they
that
wanted to
company.
lay pressure, Mr. Surjewala.
There is a very powerful company. It has
The
been named in
basic
the
law
media
plan,
now. It
Sambhaji,
is more
is
powerful than the BJP
that-
government, I think. And that is why the government is not acting. They do not have the courage to name the company.
No, you all knew all the companies' names.
has
Why were
been
you
named
keeping
and
quiet
please
for
check
10
the name
years?
of the company.
Why did you not act against these companies in the last 10 years? Now
What
that
are
the
you
government has
talking about
started
others?
acting,
If-
why are
if
you
UPA
questioning
1 and
us
2 made a
rather than
mistake,
introspecting
are
and doing
you
some
going
soul
to emulate
searching
UPA
as
1
to
and
you
2?
are sold? The
Sambit,
ones who are sold
do you
are accusing
idolize
others.
UPA 1 and UPA 2 just because they did something wrong? You will be repeating their mistakes. Do you idolize UPA 1
Mr.
and
Gaurav
UPA 2?
Bhatia, you were part
What
of
kind
that
a defense is
dispensation.
this?
So better do some soul searching rather than
They
lecturing
were
me.
part of the government, Sambit. Please get your facts right. And if you don't have your facts right, don't debate with me.
You
Even
were
they part
supporting
of the
them.
government. I
You
think
had
all
been
facts
extending
are
your
wrong.
support to
But
them.
I want
That's
to go
almost
to the
equivalent
point
to be with them.
that
The country
does the
knows it.
BJP government, does the BJP government get inspired by the
government was
wrongdoings of
surviving.
the previous
The government was
or should
surviving
you
in the
not act?
oxygen that you had provided them.
So will you
But
name the
Ahmed,
That is
company?
no
Does your
excuse.
government have
That
the
just
courage
because
to
the
take on
UPA
the
government
big
was
companies?
bought.
No, are you saying tonight that Mr. Patra, no, Mr. Patra and Mr. Jainara and Vyas therefore need to tell me a very clear thing. An allegation being made, I've been watching this debate, allegation made by the Congress spokesperson, who, by the way, Mr. Surjewala, don't mind, but I will keep reminding you of what you are doing. I would also like to remind you, and this is not to take a moral upper hand on you, I think some of the points you are raising are fairly relevant. But I find it very intriguing because it was in your tenure that the Supreme Court found that coal block allocations were done arbitrarily. It was in your tenure that Nira Radia happened. It was in your tenure that all this happened. Anyway, that I guess you will say today, let's not talk about all that. I mean, I don't even want to tell you that in your tenure, land deals were processed and facilitated at breakneck speed by the Haryana government for Mr. Robert Vadra. I don't want to get into all that now, but I want to stay on the one point. Mr. Jainarayan Vyas and Mr. Sambit Patra, a fairly serious charge being made here by the Congress. He says that you are not going to take on the companies directly, you will keep it at a lower level, so that at a later stage, you can do a backroom compromise. So you don't want to go all out today. You are telling, you're indirectly playing some cloak and dagger game with these companies. Let me complete, Mr. Jenner. And yes, what's the hurry? I am only elaborating on this. A lot of people are watching this tonight. That what is being said is that this is cloak and dagger strategy. Where you put a gun to the company or whatever company's head and say that, if you don't behave, you don't do this, do that, we'll take it forward. And then quietly you do a private deal and then hopefully all of this will be forgotten. Mr. Vyas, that will be terrible, won't it? That will be unacceptable, I think, won't it? Will the people of this country accept that? I don't think they will. Yes, Mr. Vyas.
The country won't accept it.
Let me,
the country will not accept it.
Can I speak, Arnab? Are you through or?
No, I'm through. Go ahead.
Are you through or can I now? I will have only 2 or 3 small points. I don't want to go much long. I only would like to sympathize with my Congress friend. The company which they are trying to hint at, it was the same company during their tenure which was accused of making the petroleum ministers come and go. So better they don't talk at least about these companies and the names of the companies. They have got no business to do that. Number 2, yes,
wrongs don't make a right.
It will be naive to say that if it will be naive to say, no, I don't say that. It will be naive to say, please permit me a little fair time. It will be naive to say and believe that if it is caught here, everything is in order. Harold Ginin has said, larger is the system, larger are the layers of inefficiency. There must be things happening everywhere, somewhere else also, but this government is serious about it. Okay. At least this case is there on the surface. Earlier there used to be a journal called Fortnightly Journal of Industry and Commerce, which used to report. Let me complete.
Wrapping up this debate at this point, I need to get on to the next one. I'm wrapping up this debate only with a reminder.
So Arnab, there is no reason for this government to feel shy about it.
Sir,
we have made a beginning and we will take it to a conclusion.
Of course not.
There is no reason for us to sweep the matter under carpet as Congress.
It can happen in other ministries also. And somewhere the impression that goes out
Sir, will you take action against the companies who were found committing theft? Will you take action
we have begun,
against the
we will finish
in whose
it. Let me assure you by these simple words.
And
they did not begin,
all those
they
decisions?
have no right to question us. We are the ones who have begun the process.
I think the questions have been asked. We are following the story. We will see what happens tomorrow. But one thing at the end, if there is more than one floodgate, let all the floodgates of corruption be opened so we know. And if there is more than one cupboard with skeletons in them, I want all the doors of all the cupboards open. So while the government has done a good thing by taking a first step, I think we should take it to the logical conclusion. And Mr. Patra, people have a very long memory. As Mr. Surjewala realizes every time he debates on issues of corruption, we too in the media have a very long memory of who's done what. I thank you for joining me on the day's big story, the corporate espionage story on the Newshour tonight.